Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if this is your very first time here, then it is just welcome. And since you are here, go ahead and subscribe so that you can be a member of the channel. And with that being said, I would just like to thank you guys so much for over 150 subscribers, and by the pace that we're going, I'm pretty sure we're gonna reach 200 subscribers by the time I turn 26. So let us just smash that goal. By November we're reaching 200 subscribers. Hashtag road to 1K. Thank you so much guys. On today's video, I'll be telling you guys a story time about the time I dated a married man. Hey, but before we get onto the video, make sure that you are subscribed. Before we just get onto it, make sure that you click the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever my juicy videos go up. And please drop a comment at the end of the video or during the video. Let me know which was your favorite part of the whole story, and don't forget to share the video and the channel with your friends, and give this video a thumbs up. So with that being said, I think we should just get on to the story. So I wrote down some notes because I have a lot of things in my mind and I don't want to forget any tiny bits of the story. And I know that I'm very terrible at telling stories, but I'm gonna try and just tell it to you like it really was. So we're gonna start off with where I met this guy. So I met this guy, I think it was 2019, because that was the first time I lived alone. So if you all know, I used to live if you don't know, I used to live with my aunt, and then I moved out in 2019 and started I wanted the independence thing, so I moved out and I lived alone. Sharp. But like my aunt, I feel like she's the closest family member that I have from my father's side. Well, apart from my sisters obviously. So my aunt and I usually went on dates. We still do to this day. We went on dates, and then this one time she was like, it was when Avengers, I'm not sure if it was Infinity War or if it was Endgame, came out, and then she was like, okay kid, let's go and watch this movie because we've been waiting. I think, yeah, it was the second one, it was Endgame, because we were cheering Thanos and shit. So I'm trying to do this really quickly because I have to go to church and my phone's gonna run out of, I have like 26 minutes worth of recording space, so I'm gonna try to not say a lot, but I'm gonna like try to cover everything. No, I'm gonna try to not waste time, but I'm already wasting time. So my aunt is like, okay, let's go. Okay, and then I go to work that day because you guys know, I think you know this part, but I used to be a performing artist, so during the day we would go to events and dance and do all the stuff, and then after that, those people that I used to work with, they begged me to stay, but I was like, I'm not missing a Marvel movie to go and drink with people that I don't even like. So I got home, I freshened up, I changed, and I packed some things because I was gonna spend the night at my aunt's place, and then we're gonna go to church the next morning. And then she's like, it was actually a bit late, I think it was around August, and it was already dark and I ran out of taxis, so she was like, let me call an Uber for you. Get Ubers for me. And then I go, like, I take a taxi to like the nearest place where she could get a good location. So I went to stand by a clinic, but it was so late and it was dark. So the Uber pulled up and I came in, I sat at the back, and man, this guy are just talking. We're talking politics, we're talking general life things, relationships and all that. You know how Uber drivers be like, they would just be all up in your business and stuff like that. And then we were just talking, and then this guy, when he was dropping me off, he was like, can I actually get your numbers? And I was like, okay, I actually liked him because so I gave him my number. And then we talked, and then my aunt and I went to the movies, and I think he called me like when we came back, and he was like, oh, how did you and your aunt go, yeah, and stuff like that, and he was checking up on me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then the next day I went back to my place, like we were talking and it was all chilled. And then I went to work again, like after church, but it was actually my aunt dropped me off at an event where we were supposed to be performing. It was like a jazz festival type of thing. And we performed. Then I talked to this guy. I was like, can you please come and pick me up? I need to go home. And then he was unavailable and stuff like that. And he would have times where he was unavailable, and then I would get him. But I thought he was working. Naive little me. Let me see how old I was in 2019. I was 22, yeah. If my math is mathing. Yeah. Was I? Yeah, I was. Whatever, man. And then we were starting like to have this vibe whenever we were talking over the phone, like, hey babe, and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, we're babe now, okay. And then the relationship just progressed, but we hadn't seen each other like besides that day. And then we come to a conclusion. You could listen, because I'm also still working. We had shows, like back-to-back shows, and he was an Uber driver, remember? But he also had side hustles, like he did DSTV and all the stuff. Oh my god, he's gonna watch this, but I don't care, because just keep watching, yo. Just keep watching. This story is actually very juicy, because this relationship was this long, 3 years, dog. 4 if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, let's go. And then we then come to a conclusion. We're only gonna see each other like when everything's done, when we're done being hectic, because he also had deadlines to meet and stuff like that. So we work, I think like a month or a month and a half goes by, and then we actually meet. He's like, can I take you out on a date? And then we go. It was actually such a nice date. We went out, we got pizza, and then I went around and ran errands with him. You know how we like that. You know how we feel about that. So I went with him running our errands all over town, and then he dropped me off at my place. No, he dropped me off at my work for rehearsals, and then he left. And then I think we met on a Wednesday. We actually met on a Wednesday, and then on the weekend, I think it was the Friday of that week, we actually went on a proper date, if you get what I'm saying. But still, on that date, like we were supposed to go together and stuff like that. But no, Mr. Sir booked an accommodation for me, and it was actually really nice and fancy. And I was like, and I thought he was gonna stay there and spend the night with me. Luther, darling. Luther. He went, and then he came and picked me up in the morning, but he was very sweet about it. And I thought that we were actually waiting to do the things, and but you'll see. Came and picked me up in the morning, and he got me food, and I was just hungover because we had a great night the previous night. We had an amazing night. And then he dropped me home. No, he actually took me home to change, and then my friend and I, it was that roommate, that the one on this link that is appearing at the top of the screen right now. So we went to this event where she went with her other boyfriend. There it is. Whoop, there it is. I'm spilling the beans now. Then we went to this event with her other boyfriend, and it was just nice. I think it was in Kempton Park, somewhere in Kempton Park, and we danced the night away, and then we went home. And then from there, I knew I had a man. I had my man. Mind you, I had like 2 boyfriends back home, but you know that a long distance relationship doesn't work. So I was like, yo, bros, I gotta let y'all go, because right now I'm seeing something that has potential, and like I have a man now. Like, yo, one thing about married men, they will love you loudly. This man was giving me money. He was showing me off to his friends. He was taking me out. He was doing all the things. He was buying me nice things. Whenever I cried, whenever I sneezed, he was there. Bro, like I am telling you, like I still think about him on days, like whenever I'm meeting guys, and I'm just like, and I feel like this is the reason why I'm so picky with my relationships. Like, if you can't give me the bare minimum, like not even the bare minimum, you have to do more than that. Like, if you can't do it for me, because I've seen true love, but I've seen unconditional love. Because I'll tell you one thing, that man, he showed me love. Like, he would like do things, and like I was very poor. I'm not sure I'm rich right now, but like my living situation wasn't really great. But he would sacrifice sleeping in his nice warm bed and come and sleep in a shack with me. Fam. Fam. So anyway, you know the basis of like starting a relationship. Well, I don't know if you guys know, but whenever I'm about to start a relationship and I'm seeing that something is going seriously, I always ask the person, what's okay, wait, while you're being lovey-dovey with me like this, are you seeing anyone outside of us, or like is there somebody or something? And mind you, on our first date, I saw his phone ring because he placed it in those phone holder things at the front of your car when you're a bus driver or whatever. And his phone rang and the name that popped up there was my wife. And I was like, there's no way. And it was my first experience being like with someone who has like a person. So I was like, well, get fine. I better now. I have 2 boyfriends back home, so it's chill. I asked him what's okay. I saw the other day your phone rang and it said my wife and stuff like that, and I just need you to let me know what's going on. And then he was like, yeah, I have a baby mama, we're living together and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. Then I mustn't get too attached because he has somebody. And then I was like, mind you, I'd already broken up with my 2 boyfriends. But then I was like, you know what? I also have a boyfriend and we're very serious and stuff, yeah. So he was like, okay, then we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna keep vibes. I was like, okay, cool. And then we dated. It was so much fun, you guys. So we dated in 2019, dated in 2020, COVID hit. No, not really. We dated in 2019 because I moved out of that chick's house in around August, and then I lived by myself. And then I moved to another place. And then this one time I felt temptation inside me where I just needed this guy, and he was just boring me at times. Like, I don't know if it happens to you guys as well, but it happened to me. And then there's this guy who'd been sliding in my DMs. He's just been sliding and he begged me to be his girlfriend, and I was like, and then I told him, no, I have a boyfriend and stuff like that. And then he was like, can you please let me know when you don't have a boyfriend so that we can give us a try. And then this one time I was just like, you know what, I don't even want to lie and say this guy had like done something wrong or whatever. I was just feeling bored. And I feel like I had fallen out of love with him. So I hit this guy up out of the blue, unprovoked, with the data that my boyfriend bought me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, hey guy, do you want to try this out? And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, do you want to try this out? It's like, yeah, okay, cool. And then it started. I started going to KZN more because this guy was in KZN. Started to go in KZN more. I started mising this one. And then something happened while I was in KZN with my second boo. I get a call from a lady. She's like, hi. Like, she was so respectful. She was like, hi, I can see that you're a very young girl, and I just want to let you know that so and so is actually married with kids. So I would like you to stay out of it. And let me tell you something, guys. It was so hard to believe because this man took me to his place like I wouldn't see anything. Like, bruh, like, you were scot-free. He played me safely out of direct sunlight in a cool, dry place, out of reach of children. Like, he dribbled me. And then I was like, you know what? Because Nampel, I'm still in the heat of the moment. Uthando lalisa pink, diamond sheet, this side now in KZN. So I'm like, you know what, sir? Your wife just contacted me. So I don't want to do this anymore. And then I blocked him on all socials. I blocked him, G. I was like, I'm done. And then things didn't work out that side. And then I went back. I came back. Like, fast forward, I came back to him. Yeah, guys, it was hectic. And then I think we continued dating around the peak of COVID-19. Or it was like mild stages. But during lockdown, like lockdown level 5, was level 5? Yeah, level 5. I wasn't talking to the guy. It was quiet. We weren't seeing each other. And then I get to the lockdown happened in March. And then I think around May-ish, June, we hit each other up and it started all over again. He called me and then he was like, hey, what? Oh, he actually called me and then he came to my house. He said, asked to see me. He asked, guys, I'm such a crook. Before the whole COVID thing, I was just, you know, with that moment when you're just hanging on for one more thing and then you're just gonna let it go. So the thing with this guy is that I was waiting for him to help me to move out, and then I was gonna dump him. So he helped me move out to another place, and then because he had a car, so he helped me and he had connections, so he made that happen for me. And then I moved out, and then I dumped him. And then he called me a few months later. He's like, can we please meet? I need to talk to you. I can't live without you. You are my sun, my stars, and whatever. So I was like, you know what, that one already bored me already. Okay, so I think the other one, we can give him a name. He already has a name, but you guys just don't know it. You call him Suicide because I threatened to leave him, and apparently he drank methylated spirits and wanted to commit suicide. But city girls are up. We don't give a fuck. So yeah, I dumped him again, no magunjalo, because I'm not a sucker. So after that, okay, we got back together, and it was magic all over again, you guys. Let me tell you. And it was even way like worse than before. Like, it was big, and oh my god, it was so nice. And then he started buying me more fancier stuff, like bags, shoes, and stuff like that. We went on dates, and then my sister met him, my other sister, whom he named. It was so nice. We were going to groove. Like, he started being more open to the things that I liked. I was done playing, I won't say wife, I was done playing the good girl, but now he could see the person that I am, because also he was much older. And let me tell you how I found out how much older he was. Because when we met, he told me that he was, I was 22, and he told me that he was 30. And I was like, okay. I'm very naive, guys. I'm very naive. Well, back then I really was naive. And then when I went to his house, I saw his birth certificate, and it was in the 80 bands. Are you serious? And then I was like, but I wasn't very aggressive with the confrontation. I was like, oh, so you were born in 80 something. When were you gonna tell me that? But the thing is, it was too late, because I was too knee deep into this relationship, and I was living soft. Hey guys, I was the happiest, bro. Like, it was my happiest relationship. And one thing I'm always telling people, do not ask me about my ex. Because some people, whenever you ask them about their ex, it's always like, that Leonja, he cheated. Man, when you had to talk about my ex, that's when I light up. That's when I'm glowing. So you don't want to ask me about my ex. When he comes back again, there's just those little things, those little hints that I keep getting. No man, this guy, I wasn't getting the married man vibes, but I was like, are you still in a relationship with your baby mama, or what's going on? Like, what is happening? Because she would call him, and he thought I didn't understand the language, but he'd been teaching me for years now. So I'd just be like, what is happening? And then it came to a point where he started running away from her, like house hopping, like so that she wouldn't find out where he was. And it came to points where we would have to get up and pack, and he'd have to drop me up at my house because apparently she was on the way or something like that. And it came to points where the relationship wasn't good. And then one time she called me. At first, because I was coming back from work, it was like COVID had cooled down a bit. It was towards the end of 2020. Yeah, it was towards the end of 2020. So she first calls me, and she's like, so I'm like, hello, and she keeps quiet. And then I hang up, obviously. And then she calls again. She's like, hey, and I'm like, At this point, I'm just like, fuck, I'm not losing this man again. She's like, I'm like, no, it's no, if you're saying that he's married, he's not. He's saying that he doesn't know. He's saying that he's not married. Oh my god, I was fighting for my life. I was fighting for my relationship. Please don't mind my nails. I'm getting them done tomorrow. I was just like, no, but why it's a dang? Like, bro, I was fighting. And then I called this nigga. I'm like, get your ass here. And then he comes. Because one thing about that man, he could be in Pretoria, he could be in Venda, it could be in Mozambique. But if I say, get your ass here, trust and believe he will be here within the blink of an eye. So he pulls up, and I'm like, Gasha, what's going on? Why is this woman calling me and still telling me that he's married to you? And then he starts saying like, no, we're not married, she's just my baby mama and stuff like that. And I'm like, no bro, I know baby mamas, just tell the truth. And then it's like, no, actually, like I took out a lobola for her, but that was just it and stuff like that. So I'm like, I okay. And I'm not someone who disrespects Mshada like that. So what are we gonna do now? And then she's like, no, don't worry, I'll handle it. I'll handle her. So now I'm like, okay, cool. I saved this hoe's number. I mean, this lady's number. Shame. I don't want to disrespect her more than I already did when we was in a relationship with her man. So I was like, let me save her number. And whenever me and her man are going out, I'm gonna post. And then she goes back to him with that news now. She's telling him, she's busy posting, she's only chowing you for the soft life. And this man is just like, yeah, what else? It was so nice. It comes to a point I'm trying to figure out why we really broke up. Oh no, nothing happens. We're actually so nice, but it's just a relationship, ups and downs. We stayed together through COVID, lockdown and everything. It was just so nice until I went to school. So I go to school in 2021, and then it's all. First, he wasn't supportive about the whole makeup thing, but then he was being proactive. He was just being there, going to get inquiries for me, but he was still a bit confused. But I understood that because he was much older. It's like telling your parent that you're going to study makeup. The first thing that they're gonna ask you, how is that gonna help you? What are you like? Parents want a doctor, a nurse, a teacher. They don't want nothing to do with a makeup artist. So that's where his confusion came from. But then again, we talked about it and I told him, since you're not even paying for my tuition, do not even ask me like or whatever. I get in the middle of my school year. So we go there and we get registered and everything. And then as I'm learning, I think my school's opened in March and he started work in April, if not May. I'm not sure. No, it was way before that. He started school at around Feb. Because I remember on Valentine's Day, that day I was alone, he'd already left. So yeah, it was all nice, Nji. And he got me so many gifts for Valentine's Day. I'm gonna find a picture and see if I can just put it on the screen right now. So he leaves, and then he usually came back every month and just to come and see me. And then at around June, he calls me and he's like, we need to talk. And he actually calls me at work, and I'm like, I'm at work right now, I can't talk, so just text me what you need to know, or like what you want to say. And then it's like, oh my god, I've made a mistake. You know, when someone speaks like that, you just get so nervous. And then he's like, so when I got here, he got a job in another province, mind you. So it's like, I got a job here and stuff, and I started talking to someone, and me and this someone are expecting a baby. Let me tell you something, I died right then and there. I died. And then I was like, how could you do this to me? Like, why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me? And then I was like, oh, okay. Wait a minute though. So you mean I'd been just being this, I was so loyal. That man broke me. Like, I was a good girl, now I'm a hoe. Like, that's all on him. Yeah, that's definitely all on him. But anyway, we moved. I was just like, you know what, you really hurt me. And guys, I was so hurt. People who know me know, like, I was. But yeah, whenever I was at work, the show had to go, and some of my students would see me crying, some of my colleagues would see me crying. Like, I was a mess, a proper hot mess. And like, we tried to sort it out for like 2 full weeks. I'm like, okay. And for a second day, I was a clown, you guys. I was a clown. I was like, give her Mali abortion or something. I was like, no. But I wasn't about raising the baby with them. I was like, if you guys are keeping the baby, I'm out, Shame. I am out, TJ. It's okay. You can raise the baby. But then the thing is, he was like, no, I also don't love the chick. We were just a fling. She also has her boyfriend and I have you. And so I'm like, but why did you guys do this? And he was like, I'm so lonely. And I'm like,
but you came here every freaking month and how are you lonely? And we spoke every single fucking day.
Like I scroll. And sometimes, like the taxi rank that I go to, there's like 3 floors. I would go to the top floor, not think about jumping, but I would just go there and cry. I would cry. And sometimes I remember I'd be on the phone with him and I'd just be cussing him out, like, how could you do this to me? After everything we've been through. Lapo, I've done nothing for the man. After everything we've been through, and it'd just be like, yo, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, sorry is the only thing you're gonna give to me. But anyway, yeah, guys, that's not even the worst thing that he had done. Yeah, well. So I end up accepting, and my friends are there for me. I'm very grateful for my sisters who were there for me. And yeah, I managed to move on from that. And then, do you remember this? You see the link on top of the screen right now. Do you remember that party that I went to, the picnic that I went to? My friend's daughter's second birthday picnic. So I went to that picnic, we were drinking, there was champagne flowing, and then when I got home I was like, I miss my man. I miss my man, bruh. Like I miss him. And this thing happened at around August, October. It happened at around October 2021. And the party, like I texted him in March 2022. I was like, bro, I miss you. I can't do this without you. Like, I texted him, and apparently when he got the text, he just froze. Even his colleague was like, Manje, when and then he was like, my ex just texted me. Like, bro, we were each other's worlds. So, like, I would shake whenever he talked to me, and he would shake. Like, our whole world would stop whenever. I hope I find someone like that who loves me like that again, but they mustn't be married. So anyway, he's like, okay, can I please come and see you month end, because he was still working that side. Bro, you know a story is fire when you have to tell it for more than one day. And as promised, my nails did get done, but I'm not going to show them to you. But anyway, I did them myself, and if you want to be hooked up with some nice nails, go ahead. But anyway, fast forward, month end comes, and Mugai comes over. Like, my sister and I were watching the premiere of Young, Famous and African. So he's like, he calls me and is like, okay, I'm outside. Now, he knew the area that I lived in because he watched my video. Like I said, he watches my content. Yo, hold on. Something was irritating my nose. But anyway, he's like, I actually know the area where you stay, so I'ma just pull up. Because he actually used to live around this area, like on the first 2 years that we were dating. So he pulls up at night, like at around 7:30, wasn't even that late. He calls me, he's like, I'm outside, and let me tell you something. He was still on his A game. This man brought flowers, this man brought wine, this man brought me wings. Like, he knew, and this girl is a foodie, so he just knew. But anyway, we came in there, I went downstairs and we hugged for the longest time because I missed him so much, yo. We hugged and then we went into the car, and whenever, like, this man, like, nothing had changed. Whenever we were meeting or he'd come to see me, he would always let me sit on the driver's seat of the car, and sometimes he would take me around driving. But anyway, I'm saying I kick as a man. But anyway, we talk, and then he starts off by saying, okay, just so we just clear things off and start on a clean slate, I just want to be honest with you. I lied about the whole cheating and having a baby saga, because I asked him, oh, so how's your baby doing? He was like, no, that was actually a lie. I made that story up so that you would break up with me, and when you didn't want to break up with me and gave me alternatives, it was really hard. So now that we're going to start on a clean slate, I want to just tell you everything. And it starts off by telling me, yeah, he is married, him and this woman has an agreement, da 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 da. And I don't want to get into it because that's his story, that's his personal thing that he can tell if he wants to, but I doubt he will because he's not even someone who's on social media that much. And anyway, he's like, and then I'm like, I actually knew that you were married, because the one line that people say when they're married is, I wish I met you before, I wish I met you earlier, and stuff like that. And I was like, I knew that you were married, but the second secret that he told me is the one that broke my heart the most. So I knew that he had one child, and that this other lady had a child as well. So when they got together, they just had that one child. And Kanti umuntu has 2 kids with this woman. So that really hurt me, because as a child born out of wedlock, I feel like, why are you hiding that other child? Do you feel less love about them? I tend to take things personally because I was also born out of wedlock, but that child wasn't born out of wedlock. He was just hiding him from me. So I'm like, why you're making me feel like you love the child less than the one that you told me about. But anyway, I told him, so that actually hurt me, and not because I wouldn't have accepted your child or anything like that, but mainly because I feel like you're saying now that you love the child less. But anyway, we talked, we worked things out, and it was magic all over again. We started dating, and it was so nice. He was giving me driving lessons. He'd always made it a point to I was learning how to drive, I was learning and growing myself and stuff like that. And we actually taught each other stuff, because he was also umuntu wasemakhaya, so I was teaching him about the urban lifestyle and just evolving as umuntu, accepting people for who they are and stuff like that. So yeah, we started dating, and then he said he was gonna leave his wife. He's in the process of doing that, but only if we're serious about us. But now the problem is, I had a long line of niggas. I was in my whole phase, because of the lie that he made up. But then again, yeah, it happened. We started dating, and it was fun, and we enjoyed until I fucked up again. You know what? But anyway, let me continue with the story. So this one time, he'd been sensing some things. There's something off with me. Now, one thing about me, I'm awful at cheating. So once I start cheating and looking at other niggas, you are definitely going to tell, because I'll start being distant. The minute I cheat in a relationship, my current partner just disgusts me. I don't want them to touch me. I don't want to be intimate with them. I don't even want to sit and chill with you. I'm always on my phone. You see me changing. So it started noticing those changes, and usually, in the past, whenever those things happened, I would usually go to KZN, because most of my sides were in KZN. But this time, my side was Upolo, and he was just right here. So I went home just to visit, and then I went there, and we had a fight because I was asking him. We'd been seeing each other for 2 months, because I asked him, how is it going? Give me an update, how are the divorce things going, because I can't be reserving myself for someone, can't you're busy being serious on both sides. So it's no, Pela, it's hard, you can't just get up and get divorced. And I'm like, but it's been 2 months, you're not taking any action at all, you're not even moving out, nothing. And then we had a fight, and then I just stopped talking to him that whole night. Kanti, I'm gonna come back to Joburg the next morning, but I didn't tell him, and I was actually going to surprise him. But on the other hand, I'm busy talking to my side, because I'm arranging transport for myself to be picked up at the station when I get off. So I just put my phone on flight mode the next morning, and I hop on a taxi, and I come to Joburg. But on the way halfway in Montrose, I turn on I deactivate to flight mode, and then I text him. I'm like, hey, are you okay? And he's like, I don't understand what's going on, because yesterday we had kind of a fight, and now you're quiet, and I feel like you're cheating on me again. And I'm like, actually, I send him a live location, and I tell him, I'm actually on my way there. I wanted to surprise you so that we can talk and work things out, da 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 da. And then he was like, if you say so, but I don't believe you. And I'm like, this nigga. But anyway, I'm like, cool, dog. If you don't want to see me, it's fine. I got options. So I hit up Upolo, and I'm like, yo, can you please pick me up at the station? And then he picks me up. So I spend the night at his house, and then The next morning, he drops me off at my sister's place, and then the following morning, I come back to my house. I think it was a Wednesday also, or Tuesday. So when I get home, Mugai calls. He's like, "Where are you?" Ngitsi, I'm at work, because I was avoiding him. I didn't want, like, I was starting to fall out of love with him again. So he's like, "Can I see you?" I'm like, "But I'm working." And then it's like, when lately, when I'm trying to call you or talk to you or come to see you, you're always busy. And this is what happened whenever you're cheating. Like, he would always play that card. So I'm like, "I bet, come over, and then you'll see me." Lapo, I wasn't even up. I wasn't even out of bed. So I had to get up and undo my hair, because I had old braids. So I had to undo my hair and wash my hair. I was like, "You can come over, you can just hang out, but I'm having a busy day." So he came. Now, the one thing that because I was tired of this nigga, and another problem is I had to hide this relationship from my sisters, because none of them liked him, and I couldn't tell anyone about it. So whenever good things were happening, I would just keep it to myself. Whenever bad things were happening, I could keep it to myself. And whenever, like, they would ask me, "Oh, where did you get something like this?" or "Who took you?" and then I'd be like, "My boyfriend did." He didn't have a name, because they would judge me. Well, they wouldn't judge me, but they would be like, "Hi, as long as you are happy." So I allow him to come. So he comes over, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm quickly gonna undo my hair. Can you help me?" And then he helps me undo my hair, my braids, and then I'm like, "I need to go and take a shower and wash my hair as well. So I'm gonna take extra long. Let me put on something for you on my laptop so that you can watch." And while he's watching, I'm connecting my phone to my charger so that it can charge, and then I connected the phone to my Bluetooth speaker so that while I'm in the shower I can listen to music, because taking a shower without music is just a waste of water. So I leave my phone here and I'm playing on YouTube Music. Mind you, you cannot exit the app if you're not on premium. So if you like do some other things or leave the app, the music automatically stops. So I did that intentionally so that I could know when it was going through my phone. And let me tell you something. As soon as I went into the shower, my music stopped. I swear, 30 seconds was a really long time. The music stops and I'm like, I waited for like 2 seconds. I'm like, wait, is it the network? So I press play and then nothing happens on the speaker. I was like, shit, he's going through my phone. But then again, my mission is being accomplished, because I wanted him to see the chats that I was having with Upolo. Like, those after night with Boo texts. Like, "Hey babe, I arrived safely." Well, he always dropped me off. Like, "Hey babe, thank you for yesterday," and stuff like that. And the text from last night when he was coming to pick me up, like, "Where are you?" And the call logs, like, he saw everything. And then as soon as I got in my bedroom, he was very jumpy, and I literally was like. And then I put on the music. I was like, "Oh, my music stopped." And then I went back to the app and I played it. And then I was like, "Listen, I'm gonna go and take a shower quickly, and then I'm gonna come back. Don't leave." And then I took a shower, I came back, and I was like, "Hey," so it was just very awkward. I was like, "Hey, so I know that you went through my phone, and I know that you know now that there's someone else. So do you want to talk about it?" And he literally said, "No, it's okay. It's fine." He was speechless. I broke his heart, but I'm not sorry. So it's like, okay, I have to go now, because he was only here to see me for a short while. So he's like, "I have to go now," and I'm like, "I bet, cool." Things had changed. On our last reunion, am I even gonna call that? On our last relationship thing, it was really awkward, because I didn't like him anymore. I didn't like him. There was that thing. I was just holding on. You know how us women are. I was just holding on. Maybe if he fixes this, maybe if he sorts it out, we're still gonna be happy and all that. Because back then, things had changed. Back then, when he would come to my house, he would be treated like a king. I would make food for him and just entertain him, and it would be nice. But lately, when he'd come, I would just be like, "Hey, I'm actually busy with something, so you can just hang out there." Nonchalant. But then again, yeah, it's life. He had a wife, so yeah. So, and then the next morning, he's like, I'll have to think about it and then I'll get back to you. So I'm like, alright, cool. And then the next morning, I got on with my life, texted my boyfriends, and I just went on with life. And then the next morning, he calls me, and he's like, he actually sent me a voice note. He's like, I'm fair to Mina. I don't think that I can do this anymore, because at the end of the day, I'm sacrificing my wife, my kids, my house, my life, and everything, only for you to go and cheat. So I think we should end this. And I was like, okay, cool. I respect your decision. But the thing is, when we were like, Jol, usa pink, usa diamashid, like, I used to visit him and I would leave my things at his house so that I wouldn't have to pack a lot of stuff whenever I went to his house. So I left my gym set and a big winter coat. He said he was going to replace it that Friday. And now the thing is, this thing happened on Tuesday. So now I'm give dog. So I asked him, I'm like, okay, cool, I respect your decision, but I'm still going to be able to pay my things back. Because life goes on. Life here goes on. So are you still going to give me my things? And then he blocked me. That's the only reason why I was pressed about our breakup. Otherwise, but anyway, guys, that is it for the story. And thank you so much for watching this video. And please drop your comments on the comment section. Let me know how you felt about this video. And also, if anyone comments anything negative about my looks, I will just turn off my comments automatically, because I did receive some backlash when I was doing this video, the one that's popping up on the screen right now, the link that's popping up on the screen, and I decided to turn off comments because I've mentioned this before I sit here and film videos, I look at myself in the mirror. When I'm editing, I can see how I look on the video, so there's no need for you to remind me and stuff like that, because it does take a lot on people's confidence and self-esteem and stuff like that. And as a person who has struggled very much with my confidence, I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying. But anyway, please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Yeah, and share this channel with your friends. Do not forget to click the notification bell when my videos go up. Guys, I'm always so scared. South Africa is so scary. So whenever I see shadows and stuff, it could be a bird and I would just be scared. But anyway, thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.